Hello, you guys. Today I'm going to be showing you our budget for our upcoming Disney trip. My husband and I created this budget template because this was always such a pain point of our trip. Of course, we knew the cost of our tickets, our resort, the big things, but we would just estimate how much dining was going to cost. There were so many other little things that we just didn't think about, we didn't factor in, and so it was this sticker shock when we got home, and our trip budget ended up being way more than we anticipated. So I'm really excited about this budget template because it has removed all of the stress and anxiety from the budgeting portion of the planning process. So I'm gonna break down our Disney budget for you and show you all of the numbers. All right. I've got my coffee and we are ready to do some budgeting. But I wanted to also share, this is a deluxe Disney trip. So the numbers that you see are gonna reflect a deluxe category Disney trip. You can do Disney for way less, you can do it for way more. So this will give you an idea of what a typical 4-night, 5-day deluxe Disney trip might cost. But I wanted to add that disclaimer before we get into the numbers that this is just one example of what a Disney trip could cost. All right, this is my Disney budget template. So the first thing I want to mention is all of the categories here. So we have resort, tickets, Genie Plus, travel, dining, shopping, and then a separate dining tab that I'll go over in just a little bit. So back to the totals tab. As you can see here off to the right is my grand total. So everything is factored right here. And I'm actually going to remove this right now so that I can show you kind of how it works. So starting with our resort category, you can see the first 3 nights are factored in right here. That is my post-tax amount. And then our last night, we are switching to a different room category. And if you want to hear all about that, I'll have that video linked down below. But this is our post-tax amount for our deluxe club level room. And then that is our resort total right there in blue. Moving down to tickets, we are doing a 3-day ticket, 2 adults, 1 child. We are not doing the park hopper. And this is our post-tax amount for the 3-day tickets. And then down below here for Genie Plus, this is what's tough to budget for because it could be $15 per person per day or $35 per person per day. So I've gone ahead and budgeted $25 per person. I feel like that's just a good middle ground to budget for. And then I think we're only going to do Genie Plus on our first Magic Kingdom day. So that's why you only see that $75 in day 1. Moving down to travel, the first category is gas. We are not driving, so that does not apply for this trip. Flights, we are flying, but we were able to use credit card points. So I don't have to factor anything into this portion right here. And then airport parking, because we are driving ourselves to the airport, we do off-site airport parking. And I had actually earned 2 free days with points from their app. So I had factored that in, and 5 days of off-site airport parking is going to be $83. And then we are not renting a car. Transportation to and from MCO, we are actually being hosted by a private transportation company, so I'm excited to share more about that. And then parking, again, we're not driving, so I don't have to budget for that. So our total travel budget is $83, pretty nice. And then dining, I'll go over the dining tab here in a minute, but this is where you can see each day, kind of the totals for each day. And then down at the bottom is shopping, so trip prep budget. The one thing I am going to budget for down here for snacks and drinks, I'm actually going to use this category for our grocery budget. So you could just change this to say groceries if you wanted, but I'm going to put $50 here. And then shopping, we are not big shopping merch kind of people. So I might buy like a sweatshirt or something. So I'll budget $50 for that. Same thing, toys, activities. I might buy my toddler just a little something. So I'm going to put $25 here. So you can see my total shopping budget automatically updated to $125. And then that was also factored in up here at the very top into our grand total right here. Before we jump into the dining portion of the budget template, I wanted to first explain how this is structured. So what I'll typically do is I will go day by day and map out where we're gonna be dining for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whether that's quick service or a table service reservation, and I will go through the actual menu. I'll just go onto the Disney app and go ahead and map out what I think we're each going to order. And if I'm not sure what my husband's gonna want, I just go ahead and budget the most expensive item for him, because it's always better to over budget and have a little extra when you come home. So that's what I'll do, and I will map out our total for that meal. And if it is a table service reservation, I'll factor in tip next to that dining total. You'll see on the template here, it'll make sense in a second. But that's another thing that it's easy to forget to budget for tip. That could come out to $200 at the end of your week, depending on how many table service reservations you end up doing. So that's a huge chunk of your dining budget if you aren't anticipating that. Another thing I like about the dining tab is it'll go ahead and factor in tax for you. So again, something else that you don't normally factor into your budget, you're not budgeting for tax. So that's another thing I love about the dining page is it factors in tax for you. So let's go ahead and jump back into the template and I will show you exactly what our dining budget looks like. Okay, so moving over to dining, this is the best part of the budget template in my opinion. So our travel day, resort day, I've gone ahead and estimated, like I mentioned, quick service, and then we'll do Geyser Point that night. I've estimated our total cost, tip amount, and then it has factored in tax as well. So our total for day one is $201.90. And then I've gone ahead and kind of budgeted for all of the rest of our days as well, kind of in that same format. And then down here, I wanted to mention where it says club, that's where we are checking into our club level room. So I am planning to utilize their breakfast, snacks and dinner. That way we're not having to budget for dining on top of staying club level. So even though we're paying a little bit more for our club level room, we're also paying less in dining, if that makes sense. So the price kind of evens out just a little bit, instead of spending, I don't know, $300 in dining for these 2 days for a dinner here, breakfast and lunch here, we're putting that money into our club level room. So that's kind of how that equals out if you really take advantage of that club level lounge. So that is our total for dining right up here, $796.25. And then back to our totals page, you can see that number factored up here as well. So that is our budget. So we are planning to spend a grand total of $4,536.76. So that is our budget for our upcoming April Disney trip. All right, well, that wraps up our budget for our upcoming April Disney trip. I hope this was helpful, seeing a realistic breakdown of what a deluxe category Disney trip could look like. So I will have this budget template listed down below in the description box. It is available for download if you guys want to have this resource for your upcoming Disney trip. It's been a game changer for us, mostly for our marriage. It has helped so much in the planning process. So thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure that you are subscribed. We are going to be vlogging this entire trip, so you will definitely want to stick around. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this style of video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.